Welcome into the Spiel, everybody. It's the show where we'll do just about anything for ratings.
Anything,
including ensuring that we have all the demographics checked. Every one of them. We've got, I guess I'm the older demo. We got the younger demo, right?
Yeah, I mean, we cover all bases now, you know what I'm saying? That's what this show needed, I think.
Okay, and I love how you just dropped into that, whatever that was, a little rhymey. Okay, so, and then we got Lucas, the middle-aged.
The middle child.
I have never been more offended.
So what you got going over there?
Well, here, can you answer me a question?
Yes.
Has anyone ever asked you to start a show with a day-old bagel?
I asked you to start the show with a day-old bagel, and you told me you were going to fly it across the studio.
Good throw.
Oh, wait. Oh. Destroyed the set.
What was that throw? How do you hit the light?
I never did play Frisbee on the beach, and there's a reason. But anyway, Lucas, we've got to add a little bit of value in the show. So what we've decided to do is Wyatt and I, my son, and I have decided we'll be that experiment that everybody wants, because we get emails like, well, talk about some tough conversations you've had or some of those easy conversations. And we really got to thinking, Lucas, what is it that your parents would say about you if questioned today, or you about them, or are you talking these days, or everything's good?
It depends on which parent you ask.
So what was that like growing up? Young Lucas, were you difficult?
Yeah, for sure. I was definitely needy. I mean, I was the youngest child, so yeah, of course, I deserved everything that life had to give.
Right.
And what my parents had to give, my sister deserved none of it. And she knew it. I made that clear.
And that's why you guys are super close.
Yeah, actually, I do love my sister.
Oh, good.
Oh,
I'm
that's
glad
sweet.
you love your sister. Okay, well, Wyatt here's an only child.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I don't know if she reciprocates it, but it's fine.
We'll ask her.
Yeah,
We'll maybe
okay.
call her up and see.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But we've asked a couple of members of the crew, and they all had really good ideas and a thought process with that banter with parents.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important, like with all relationships in your life, especially with your parents, that you communicate and talk through things, because otherwise, things can get mixed up, and there could be a lot of miscommunication, which leads to deeper problems down the road.
Jeez, well said. I mean, we are diving into that parent-child dynamic, and it starts. It starts very early with just deciding to bring you into the world, and then you have this relationship, and or adoption is wonderful. But anyway, you form a family, right? And it starts very early on with questions that could essentially result in a one-word answer. You want to avoid those.
Yeah.
Like picking them up from school. How was your day? It was good.
Yeah.
And then
And then that's the end of the conversation, and you don't talk the rest of the car.
Right.
She was very much the opposite of that. It was like, hey man, like, why is the sky blue? And I'm like 8, and I'm like, I don't know. And then like, please stop talking, because it was like a constant. Like, I got interviewed every time I got out of school. I was practicing to get interviewed.
That's right. Yeah. Like, what did you learn? Tell me about it. High point, low point. Who's your friend?
Yeah. Did you have any dreams last night?
Did you have dreams?
that was one of the always.
But I think that's something, because you always wonder if you have anything in common with your parents or your kids, and you do. You have a lot, but there are also it's tough. It's there's the dynamic, if you will. You've got to respect the line. I'm your parent, not your friend. And I think that's where a lot of parents, especially when your kids get older, that line blurs a little bit.
Yeah, it gets, because it's kind of jerky, because it goes kind of back and forth between how I don't know, because I'm not a parent. At least I don't. I'm just kidding. But like,
goodness.
But
Okay,
You're not.
No, Lucas, he's not.
I've got
he's in college.
4 kids, white picket fence in Oklahoma. No, but it's kind of important to find a good balance. You know what I'm saying? Because I still need that person to guide me. And that's the biggest role of a parent is teaching a person to be a person. Right. Because you're the example.
And that's the hardest thing for a parent, is to essentially raise them up, teach them in the ways that you would have them go, and letting them go. because you have to write your own book, all your chapters. Hopefully there's a little bit of me sprinkled in there and such, but it is your story, it's your life, and I can't make some of those tough decisions for you. But I had a lady share with me once. Essentially, everything you're going to teach a child if they haven't learned by the age of 12. Which I don't know. I don't know if that's.
I don't think.
What do you think about that, Lucas? I mean, we're still learning today, but maybe that's the foundation.
Yeah, so I mean, I've heard something similar to that, where it's like, you develop your subconscious habits by the age of 8.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
and
early.
Not saying that those can't be broken, but most of the time you don't even understand those habits until you
Wowza.
are
Yeah.
an adult, and even then most adults don't even realize what they're doing.
Oh, isn't that the truth? But that is the thing that we all we're working to help establish that very healthy pattern in a young man or a young woman's life, because it will help determine their loves, their interests, things like that. And the only thing I would say to you, and we say it all of the time, communication. Communication is key. Even if you think you don't have anything to talk about, find something. And we've had a couple of questions sent in to us that people maybe they haven't yet found the courage to ask their kids. And something as simple as, what makes you happy?
Man, that's deep. Hold up. Okay, so what honestly makes me the most happy, and I've learned it through trial and error, because there's certain things you think would make you happy, like maybe like receiving like gifts or like
Right. Large sum of money.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the above. Yeah, which I mean, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
I smiled there.
I think it's great, but I think that the biggest thing for me that makes me happy is setting a positive example for other people, and just making my parents proud in general. I think that's the highest honor you can really have, because they put all their life's work into raising something and cultivating this thing, and you're a direct reflection of them. And I think it's very important that every time you step outside, you try your hardest to change the world and be a positive role model. So.
That's awesome. And not to apply pressure, but I do tell him, please don't let me get this wrong, and remember, you will be my greatest accomplishment. So what is that going to look like?
Yeah, you always say you're a direct reflection of me. So,
That's right.
You're representing a lot of people. You don't even realize it's not just you, it's your family. So
Yeah, that's true. I love that.
So looking back at raising someone, is there anything you would change or do differently?
Whew. I think something I did with you that my parents didn't necessarily do, and I don't know how individuals watching will feel about this. I deemed it necessary to apologize to you when maybe I had had a bad day or was dealing with something at work or with another individual, and I turned my attention and you were there, and maybe I lashed out at you. And I hope you remember, I always would come back and say, I'm sorry. And a lot of parents refuse to go into that territory. And I think that's something that is so important. And I learned of a family that had done that and raised their children that way. And that meant everything to me, to let you know that I'm still human, that I'm trying, just like you. But there isn't anything in the world I wouldn't do for you. I don't always get it right, and I'm here to say that I'm sorry in this moment because I messed up.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's human error, and there's a lot of parents who are very like, I'm right because I'm older and I never make mistakes. But like, even as you age, there's still things that are going to come up, things that don't go the way you want, or maybe you speak before you think. And I think that taught me at a very young age, like, how important it is to really stay grounded and realize, you don't know everything, and there's so much more to learn, and it's important to keep an open mind about your opinions and anything coming in and out.
Look what happened. See, my parents said, do as I say, not as I do, and don't ask why. And see, and look at the result is, and they're people. You still want to talk to them. Man, are we excited about today's show?
I'm pumped. We got a lineup. We got stars from we got a head coach. We got a band coming in. We got Lucas.
We got Lucas. You know how he feels about you. I'm a star. Yeah, you are a star.
101.
Well, this
101.
girl is Gillian Anderson. You guys know her, and she is co-starring with Billie Piper. Look, this is a really cool story. It's on Netflix now. I don't know what's up with Tim only choosing conspiracy theories and such right now, but it's.
I'm all for it. I
yeah.
can get lost in some Netflix documentaries, let me tell you.
Dishing on the royalty. So Tim has that scoop. You'll find out more about that in just a little bit.
Man,
Do you want to go toe-to-toe with your coach right now?
I'm ready. I've been training every day of my life for this moment.
All right. Well, we're going to get right to it, so stay right there. We'll be right back. You're in the path of changing lives, so
absolutely.
Huge responsibility.
You have a big responsibility in taking care of these guys when they're away from home, you know?
Taking on somebody who is not only alive, but in my proximity felt like it might be too risky.
At CRHPC, we strive to meet the medical, dental, and pharmacy needs of patients. In addition to family medicine, pediatrics, and offering x-ray services at reduced costs, CRHPC treats patients needing dermatology, a colonoscopy, and those with questions about women's health. Need help managing diabetes and want to learn how to eat healthy? Or you're looking for a psychiatrist? We treat behavioral health needs. CRHPC is also a Suboxone provider. Come see us if you need help regulating testosterone levels. We can assist with weight loss, wound care, and treat joint pain. Find help at any one of our 14 locations throughout Southern Illinois, where walk-ins are always welcome. For more, visit crhpc.org.
We want to help students when they come right out of high school. We want to get them through that 2 years and get them into a career or get them onto a transfer. But we're also here for the adults, like I was. You know, I always knew I wanted to have choices and do different things. I went to apprentice school, I went to lineman's school, and then having the education expanded on that. Come and visit us online, come visit us in person. I would always encourage people to check out the website and look at the events page and see what's happening and what's coming up.
My son was a huge factor in my decision to quit. He came home from school one day talking about how every cigarette takes so many minutes off your life. And he's like, well, if you're smoking and Dad's smoking, I'm just going to be by myself. And it was like a heart punch, you know, and I was like, okay, we've got to do something different. So that was kind of what pulled the trigger for me, just broke my heart. But I picked a day that was going to be my quit day. And it was my mom's birthday. I'm going to quit June 20th. I'll never pick up another cigarette again. And I haven't, 6 years later.
And we're joined now by Coach Sam Miller and a former player, Wyatt Sherwin. We're postseason now, so you didn't know we were going to bring you on to such an elaborate set for a, postseason discussion, Coach.
Pretty nice set.
We didn't want to put you on the hot seat. Just sitting here right now, we've learned so much about you, military guy, father, husband, son, and when you hear the title coach, to me, that means so many things because I've watched what his coaches have meant to him. I mean, you're in the path of changing lives. So
absolutely.
Huge responsibility.
You have a big responsibility in taking care of these guys when they're away from home, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I know you were kind of enamored with his earlier career.
Yeah. He. I remember the first day they brought him in this year. I was like, whoa, like this dude's legit. Like I remember hearing stories of him. I mean, I'm not sure if he looks like it now, but this dude used to dunk on people, windmill, all of it. He told us all. So
Can we have video of that? Is that recorded somewhere?
That was back in the old days, before YouTube.
Right.
So we learned a lot about your college days, but is it cool? Can you tell us kind of like where you started to like where you are now?
Yeah.
My dad was a basketball coach, and he coached at a little school in Casey, Kentucky. And I started playing for him when I was in, second grade.
Oh, wow.
And, I'd be out there with the guys, and of course, as a second grader and against 7th and 8th graders, they were a whole lot bigger and stronger than me, and I got beat up quite a bit. But it made me tougher.
Yeah, it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
And of course, he didn't cut any slack on me either.
I was wondering about that. Yeah, that'd be tough to live with Coach too.
I actually started playing for the junior high team in 4th grade.
Oh wow!
Because I was always bigger than everybody else, and just a good time.
Okay.
But he changed. He had to go back and get his master's degree because in the state of Kentucky you have to have your master's degree after 10 years or they kick you out of teaching.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and went to South Fulton as an 8th grader and making that transition. You know, I was 6'6" as an 8th grader.
You were being scouted as an 8th grader, weren't you?
No.
Had to, man.
But I went to South Fulton my 8th grade year, and that was a pretty rough transition because I was a pretty decent player and taking over somebody else's spot and all that stuff, and you know, but it made me tougher too. But then my freshman year, we had a really good team. I didn't get to play much as a freshman, and because we had some really good seniors.
Okay.
But we went to state that year, and that really solidified my decision to continue playing basketball because I wanted a taste of that.
Sure.
You know, and my junior year, we got to go to the state tournament and actually hosted what we call sub-state in Tennessee, and lost to a really good team out of Memphis by 2, and missed out on a chance to go into
You talk about it like it was yesterday.
Nashville. Oh yeah, I mean I distinctly remember it.
Yeah.
I went on to play at Dyersburg State for a couple of years. Great experience down there. I met some really cool guys and
I remember playing them freshman year and this year.
And learned really what it is to be a teammate.
Sure.
And because, you know, once you get to that college atmosphere, you're with them all the time.
Absolutely.
Because they become your family. And I've always wanted, since I was 14, I've always wanted to be a coach. You know, I knew my dad, you know, doing that, and he coached all the way, I think it was 26 years that he coached overall, junior high and high school.
Now, was he the type coach that you're pretty, you're calm, you remain calm, you can have a couple of words with the refs, but you know, I never saw you really lose your temper.
Dad's famed acclaim was taking his jacket off and throwing it.
Not a chair though, that's good,
No,
right?
not a chair.
Okay, good.
And I guess that's the reason why I don't wear a sports coat, because I would probably do that too.
Right.
But no, he was really laid back. I mean, he got animated a few times, but laid back and calm. And I guess that's where I get my demeanor from.
That's so cool.
And I think that coaching style is honestly really underrated because whenever, you know, the head coach, which is like the leader of the team pretty much, if he loses his head, then everyone else starts doing it. But when he's calm, under control, like guys will slow it down. It really helps everybody pace themselves a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of times this year that, you know, after we had lost about 3 or 4 in a row, I was getting a little perturbed by that, and because that's not in my nature. You know, I want to win.
Right.
I want to be successful, and sometimes, you know, success is not determined by wins and losses.
Very well said. So true. Just
but-
the impact you had on people and those people you touched in their lives.
But winning's so much better.
It is so much
it's
better.
sweet.
Yes. So how, you know, for you, what is that definition of success? You know the you know the impact that you have on the lives of all those students and those players.
Angie, I tell you, I've got 5 former players who are now coaching.
Oh wow.
2 of them at the collegiate level.
That's awesome.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. That's
And
so cool.
one of them actually adopted some of the stuff. You know, the 1, 2, 3, and 4 offense. That's being played in another college right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. You know, what is it? You can probably speak to the player side of things. You guys talk in the locker room and such. What are you wanting from your coach? You mentioned the cool head, and what else were some of the things that you guys talked about and needed?
Yeah, I mean that's very important, but at the same time, it's very good to have a passionate coach that you know cares, and I think Coach Miller was definitely both of those things for us. At the same time, though, I'd say the biggest thing is a desire to win 100%. And I felt that energy, especially at the beginning of the season. Like we definitely, like he said, we had rough patches, but you know, it's part of the game. You know, you can't win them all. It's just, you got to give 100% every time you're out there.
We had a couple of buzzer beaters this year, like down
those were
to
fun.
the second. Those were so
fun.
good.
But I think the biggest thing of all is just knowing that your coach trusts you. And that goes a long way, I think, even outside of basketball, honestly. It's just that first time that someone who, you know, you're not related to or whatever is like, hey, like go out there and, you know, whatever happens, just play as hard as you can. And he's like, he's like, hey, I want you to have the ball in this play, or I want you to do this for me.
Right.
I got you if you got me. And that relationship is something that you can't buy.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
You had a good support staff as well. I know, shout out to Coach Hill. He just does such an exemplary job of ensuring that players perform off that court, because they've got to make the grade and there are some expectations, and he's the kind of coach that will find you. If you get in trouble, you'll know it real quick.
He shows
Coach
up in
Hill knows
classrooms.
about it.
He's not afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do this without Justin.
Yeah.
He's
awesome.
a very integral part of what we do.
Yeah. Well, is there anything that you wanted to point out that we didn't ask you about?
Well, you mentioned I was a military guy.
Yes.
After Dyersburg State, I went to Savannah State, which was a traditionally all-black school. I was the first, and to my knowledge, the only Caucasian to ever play at that school.
Well, how about that?
And at the time, they were Division II, and we had a really good team. We went down to Miami and played against them in the Miami Heat Arena, and Leonard Hamilton, who was a all-time great coach, was coaching at the time, and he remembered me from being at South Fulton in high school.
I think you stuck out probably from
Just a little bit.
So how was that adjusting to that college? Was it an easy fit, or was it kind of...
I was comfortable.
Yeah.
I was comfortable with it. I've always, I've never seen color,
awesome.
and you've seen that. We're all people.
Yes,
Awesome.
sir. That's 100%
Well,
true.
I hope you didn't teach him all of your tricks, because when we come back from the break, we've got a little challenge we're gonna.
I forgot to tell you something, Coach. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, no.
Hope you brought your hoop and shoes.
All right, guys. So we'll be right back. Stay right there. And Coach, this has been
You go
measured. It goes. No, you're going to do it at the same time.
Oh,
Ow.
Oh, you
Okay.
We only got one ball.
I was waiting for so for the good things to come.
My name is Elizabeth Michaels, and I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and certified diabetes education specialist here at Christopher Rural Health. I work with patients to set and achieve realistic health goals and to empower them to better manage their diabetes effectively. We work together to come up with an individualized treatment plan that facilitates better health and quality of life. I'm here to provide education, support, and resources for people with diabetes and their friends and families so that they can enjoy the best possible quality of life amidst a challenging but treatable disease.
Did you know your teenager's brain is more likely to get addicted to nicotine than yours? The tobacco and vaping industries do. They target teens with their products and try to cover up the fact that there's nicotine in them. They're trying to get your kids addicted and make them customers for life, but you can stop them. Talk with your kids about the real dangers of vaping. The tobacco and vaping industries sure won't.
Okay, so we told you guys there's a little challenge, and you just looked over your shoulder and you had a move. I mean, you feel pretty confident. You ready
I
to
was
do
going to hook it.
He's
I'll
ready.
hook it. Okay, all right, I like it. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to let you guys, Rob, is this the way to do it? They're just going to stand on the edge of the carpet here, okay? And Coach, this has been
You go
measured. It goes, no, you're going to do it at the same time.
Ow.
Okay.
We only got one ball.
And no, we don't.
Oh, man.
Oh, here, I want that one.
Yeah. What? Hey, come on. She's using a women's ball.
I didn't know if he would want that. Okay, so Rob, we were just going to put up a timer, guys, and let them go?
Well, how we...
Walker, is that the best
All
thing?
right.
Okay.
Now,
Tell
wait.
him.
Now, Angie, wait. If,
Say just
if-
over and over
If
and
we're
over.
having to get our own rebounds, he's going to lose.
Oh, did you hear that? He
come
has to get his
on.
own rebounds. Okay, I love it. I
I'm going
love
to fall
it.
over the...
All right, guys, so how long do you want him to do it, Walker? You say a minute? All right, a minute. We're going to go and we're going to be counting buckets. Hang on, stand by. Sorry. No dunking.
No
You got to
dunking?
stay right there on the carpet.
I'll just throw it through. I think that's my
Okay.
strategy.
And in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, that's not fair.
There's one.
Oh, you got it?
Oh.
Wyatt, you're terrible. Good thing Coach isn't recruiting.
I forgot how to play.
Oh,
Oh
Coach,
my
you got
God.
2?
Two.
All right, there you go.
I can't let him sweep me. There we go.
Oh,
finally
you got one?
Okay.
Oh, I missed that one.
Tell me when it's been a minute. Oh. Look at
Oh,
you.
there's no way.
He stepped over the line.
See if I can
Ref
get him
called
assist.
it. Okay. all right.
I'm using
right.
the. Hey,
Here we go.
hey, that's favoritism.
I know. I was trying and I messed him up.
How many of you get?
Okay. Oh!
That did not just happen.
Good deal. Okay,
Wait.
cool.
All right, I lost. I think I can't get my
We
ball.
good? All right, guys. Thanks. I think Coach whooped you there, Wyatt. Even,
Man, I tried. He picked up a block too.
he did block you. No doubt. No doubt. Well, Coach, thank you so much, and congratulations on a wonderful career.
Thank you.
Good game.
We
No hard
appreciate you
feelings.
guys. All right, and we'll be right back.
We're the Randys. The song's called The Come Up.
I was waiting for so long for the good things to come. Oh. I was waiting for so long that I forgot what I was waiting for.
I think a lot of it's just that we've been playing together for a long time. Yeah, I'd say it's probably that, because it was real awkward at first.
Was it?
An hour of television can change everything.
3 women in a whippet. Wouldn't have seen that in a BBC studio when I started.
The allegations surrounding Jeffrey Epstein include his friend Prince Andrew.
CRHPC, with 14 convenient locations across Southern Illinois, welcomes family practice physician Suzanne Burge. Dr. Burge will be seeing patients in our DuQuoin and Christopher locations. Get more information about any one of our clinics online at crhpc.org. Walk-ins are always welcome, and our in-house pharmacy delivers discounted prescriptions to all of our locations. CRHPC is available for your healthcare needs.
This is Chillware, an exciting, innovative new product designed to keep your ready-to-serve food at either hot or cold temperatures. I went to a pool party potluck, so I told my friend I'll bring the potato salad. And I spent all day with an ice bath trying to keep the potato salad cold. Nobody ate the potato salad, and it was my potato salad, so of course it was fabulous. So as I'm trying to figure out how to keep it cold so people will eat it, and I thought to myself, well, they need a crock pot to keep stuff cold. And that's where the idea for Chillware was born.
I do wish more people would understand the severity of their choice. I realize that it's a hard habit to quit. And so what I would tell people that if they're struggling with the addiction of cigarettes or vaping or whatever, and they want to quit but they just don't know how, that there is help out there. There's resources to look up. There's places to go to really help you kick the habit and be there for you and your loved ones and everyone that cares about you.
Hi, my name's Marlena Gentry, and I'm a nursing student at John A. Logan. I feel like it's more like a family. We really connect the students. We study together, we laugh together, we cry together, we get on each other. And then the teachers as well, they're just really easy to talk to, just helping you to grow. They want to give you everything you need to make it. John A. is good at just making sure that your needs are met, that they're giving you what you need to succeed, and they have so many different programs to help you do that.
So we do have the Randys on set, and I'm super excited to get to know more. In particular, I don't know if we start with the introduction of your, lovely musical instrument here that you've been embracing very tightly.
She's my comfort animal.
Okay.
This is Sadie. Yeah,
Sadie.
I can tell she's my number one. That's why she's got Dorothy Subordinate on it.
I love that. Well, go ahead, the Randys. Let's decipher. Introduce yourselves all the way around.
Well, back there on the drums is Kurt Etherton.
All right, Kurt. Yes.
Junior. Yeah, he's a junior.
A junior.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Jason Smith.
Not a junior.
Not
Just
junior.
One
Not a
of
junior.
many.
Okay.
And I'm Caitlin Stewart.
Yes.
And this is Maria Louisa.
This is Maria Louisa.
Yes. All right. So these are the most important parts of the band, I guess.
Well, Kurt Etherton is the
I was
most
gonna
important
say,
part of the band.
she gets way more compliments than I do.
Okay.
People will say like, "Oh, that guitar is beautiful." I'm like, "Thanks. What about what I did with it?" No.
I love it. It is something to be, really, it leaves people in awe, when you can make your instruments do what you do and what you've just done on the show. It was absolutely incredible. Talk about finding that group of people that you really vibe with, because you knew when to come in, you guys were making the same movements. It was magical to watch, really. There was really a great flow there.
I think a lot of it's just that we've been playing together for a long time. Yeah, I'd say it's probably that, because it was real awkward at first.
Was it?
Probably, yeah.
Well, I mean, we're all brothers, so fights at home.
Love that.
I was always the favorite.
Yes.
So
Okay.
youngest.
Okay.
I obviously got the most, so.
You're right. I see. Okay. And we've got Junior back here. Yeah, Junior. Okay. So who's going to pick up the fascination with cats? What is the cat? Everywhere on your online presence there are cats.
I have a pile of them. It's like cats.
Okay. Just
not me.
has nothing to do with Junior. Okay.
No.
Just who doesn't love cats?
Birds?
Apex predators. Oh, birds are incredible too.
Okay.
Also
And cats
predators.
love birds.
I have a whole bunch of those too. They're just all dead in my yard from my cats.
Well, you guys are getting some big opportunities. I know, you were dropping some names out here of individuals you're going to get to play with, and maybe some of those people you've played with in the past. What have been some of those performances you want to talk about, or what you're looking forward to?
We are opening for a Toyota event, and Bret Michaels is the headliner, and so is Russell Dickerson. My high school teacher, Craig McKenney, was so excited when he heard that I was playing with Russell Dickerson. Yeah, we've just been trudging.
Yeah, and I found out that Bret Michaels might be my actual father, so I'm going to try to get a picture with him too.
He's like 61, I think. So he had you when he was what, 12 or I don't know.
20. I'm not as old as I look.
You're not?
I'm not 60
I
years
at
old.
my age. Okay.
I'm
Well,
only-
anyway,
I'm
the
only-
dude's
I'm
doing
only
okay.
40.
You know how you love to look back at Wikipedia and such?
Sure.
I'm only 40. He says, I'm only 40, So, that is incredible when you share a stage with people and you're just as deserving as any headliner because you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
What is success for you guys? When do you feel like you're reached that point of, okay, here's where we want to be?
Oh, well.
If ever.
I do have dreams of playing with Catfish and the Bottlemen, but I don't know,
We just put it out there. You
There's
just manifested that.
There's
Yeah.
landmarks, yeah.
Landmarks.
Definitely like to hit.
Reading and Leads, playing in. We really want to do a European tour in the next 5 years.
Yes.
Just because I'm a big fan of British rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Same. I think we all are. Yeah.
That's awesome. And we are volunteering to cover that when you go on tour. We
That'd be
will
awesome.
definitely be in tow. That would be
that'd be great.
excellent.
Thank you.
Well, you got anything back there you need to mention?
Success is just a number to me.
Success is a number. It can be measured.
80
I
million.
guess.
That's the number.
Well, again, thanks so much, guys. Wonderful sound. I know people are going to want to know more, so what's the best way to find you?
Smoke Signals.
Carrier Pigeon SOS, yes. Okay.
TheRandysBand.com is our
Yes.
website, and we are on the socials as well.
Very good.
You can get to all that from our website. Yeah.
Okay.
But we're on Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff too.
Excellent. All right, I love it. And you guys are going to play out the show. We got some fun in the kitchen a little bit later. Just all sorts of good stuff going on. So stay right there. We'll be right back. And Royalty has some tough questions to answer regarding the company kept. That's this week's Spiel on Entertainment. Here's Tim Estilloz.
An hour of television can change everything.
3 women in a whippet. Wouldn't have seen that in a BBC studio when I started.
The allegations surrounding Jeffrey Epstein include his friend Prince Andrew.
Sam, let's start pushing the palace. I want it for us.
You're chasing a story that we're never going to get.
This is the work.
I've never been smuggled into a palace before.
If I do an interview, the question is, why you?
With respect, you know how people see you.
Spell it out.
Brandy, Andy.
With respect.
Congrats on making such an amazing and fascinating film about journalism across the pond in London.
Well, thank you. There's a lot more people than us, just us sitting here, who were responsible for that. But thank you very much. I think they'd be very pleased. That
We'll
you thought
tell
so.
them.
Indeed. Now, Gillian, you play famed BBC journalist Emily Maitlis, who interviewed Prince Andrew so famously. But I was surprised to find out that you were somewhat daunted to take the role at first. Why is that?
Well, over in the UK, Emily is, she's very present in our lives. She was, at the BBC on Newsnight for a very long time and also, acts as a foreign correspondent, and she has a podcast that I listen to on a regular basis, and she feels like she's kind of in our solar system over there. So taking on somebody who is not only alive but in my proximity felt like it might be too risky, or it might be too that there'd be too much attention on how right I got it or whether it worked or not, and I just didn't know whether I wanted to subject myself to that kind of pressure. But I changed my mind, obviously.
And we're glad that you did.
Yeah. My job
is booking the people we can't just call up.
Hello, everyone.
You have a problem that won't go away.
We're looking at options. But there is a red line.
Billy, you spent a lot of time with your film counterpart, Sam McAllister. What was it about her character that you found the most interesting for you to tap into?
Oh gosh, I mean, there's so many things, to be honest. She's a gift as an actor because she has so many quirks and skill sets and interests, and she's so curious and also kind of unknowable. She's so many different things that it was almost like, well, where do I start? What do I take? I didn't have the pressure of Gillian and Rufus had. You know, she wasn't so public facing. There wasn't a great deal of her on YouTube and stuff like that. That's obviously all going to change now. But so I didn't have to become her as such. I had the joy of just cherry picking things that felt like, oh, that's going to be fun, and whilst also keeping her authentic and finding a way in emotionally for myself.
Everything's changed. The FBI are raiding Epstein's home. You can't stay silent. South drawing room, 2 chairs, 6 feet apart.
It's like a Western. Make no mistake, if we don't get the tone right, the story won't be him. It'll be us.
Your Royal Highness.
And Gillian, after watching the film, I went back and I watched the original interview with Prince Andrew. So you did it so well in capturing it. I'd like to know, how did you prepare for capturing that moment, along with Rufus, perhaps, working together or separately?
We worked separately. I live in the UK and Rufus lives in Los Angeles. And we, you know, I think when we both got the roles, we knew that the inevitable interview was going to be a big part of what we were filming, and that was what the majority of the focus ended up being on. So it was important to make sure that was, and people are so familiar with it, that it was important, for me at least, to try and get it as accurate as possible in terms of, you know, just the details of the gestures and the head lifts and tilts and phrasing and tone. And so, you know, it was a lot of studying the interview, condensing it down to the 20 minutes that our interview was. The original was around 50 minutes. So there's a young woman that I work with who I asked to condense it on video and audio, just our interview. And so I could listen to it over and over and over again.
Tomorrow night, in an unprecedented interview, we will hear from the Duke himself.
You know, I thought that all went very well.
Many people wonder why Prince Andrew agreed to the interview. I think that's pretty obvious. He was trying to change the image that he had at the time. My question would be, why do you think he felt so initially satisfied with how the interview went, that he felt so good about it?
I think because I'm not sure how in touch he is with, I want to say reality, that sounds coarse, but I feel like there isn't sort of, because I guess he's so privileged and he's grown up being surrounded by yes men and people who probably constantly agree with him. His judgment is, there's a lot of misjudgment there, and I also think there's something, we were talking yesterday about there being some sort of sense of arrested development, even where you know, there's something like, I don't know, he's just misreading a lot, it would seem. Yeah, I mean, it's a mystery. It's a mystery to me, but I would say those are, you know, sort of strong arguments for why that might be the case.
Well, again, thanks and congratulations to you and your entire team for a great film. It was really fascinating to see how the BBC press works as opposed to always seeing the American press. So it's a nice window into that. That was very cool to see.
Cool. Thank you.
The film is called Scoop, and it's on Netflix.
All across the world, every paper, on every news channel, this is the story.
Go away!
This is only going to get bigger.
This interview, does it matter?
Yeah, it matters.
You said you would show us how to bake homemade tortillas.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's why he's here, backed by popular demand.
Mary Lou, what are you gonna do? You got a palm on the back of your hand and nobody needs you.
CRHPC has made a focus on mental health. We're able to better serve people for their mental health needs because everything is in one place.
Emotional mental health has become very important. It's become a lot more talked about. A lot of people are starting to realize the importance of it.
It's making a difference in their children's life, their family's life, and in the community.
You know, if anybody is having mental health issues out, I would just encourage them just pick up the phone and call, you know. We're just a phone call away and you can get help very quickly.
My name is Lee Eklund. I'm the Center Director for Malone's Early Learning Center. You got to have that love and passion, and being able to come here and see how rewarding it is to have a child learn how to tie their shoes or have a child learn how to stack blocks. It's so rewarding.
When I was at John A. Logan, it really gave me the mentality of we're coming in to teach the children, not to watch the children. And so it taught me the importance of engaging with them, becoming one with the classroom, and really having that involvement there.
For youth who use tobacco or e-cigarettes, we are promoting the My Life, My Quit program that's for ages 13 to 17.
We want to make sure that they don't start to become addicted to cigarettes or vaping.
We go into schools and do classroom presentations, or we do large assemblies like in the gyms to share information about how they can get help if they already have an addiction.
But really the thing is, we don't want our youth and young people to become addicted.
Shout out to our sponsor of the Spiel in the Kitchen, Prairie Farms. They are now out with a single serve iced coffee, everybody. And the crowd goes wild. So listen, their whole slogan, which I love this, it's like skip those long lines, get your single serve, and they're your favorite coffee house flavors. Single serve Prairie Farms, good job. They've always had it in the half gallons and done really, really well in stores, so it's nice to see
I like
that.
You can grab it, take it in your car.
And go, that's it.
I knew I wasn't feeling so good, and I went in for a colonoscopy, and I was diagnosed with colon cancer. And that put a scare in me, made me reevaluate my life and what I was doing. And I knew that my tobacco use over the many years of my life had caused my issue. I knew I needed to quit, but you know, the disease, it's hard. Addiction, boy, it was so hard. I'd quit times in my life, and it called me back somehow.
And we are spieling it in our Prairie Farms kitchen, and we have again invited producer Ronnie Walls because, in part, if you remember a few episodes ago, you said you would show us how to bake homemade tortillas.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's why he's here, backed by popular demand, to make homemade tortillas. And why he's doing that, just as if I had you at my home to visit and to cook, which would be greatly appreciated.
Anytime.
Yeah, I would make some top-shelf margaritas. We're going to leave out some of the ingredients. We're just going to do fresh lime, the tequila, and then a little topper of the Grand Marnier, which is cognac and orange liqueur. You good with that?
I'm good.
Okay.
Let's go to the beach.
What are we doing?
All right, so homemade tortillas are super easy. All you're going to need is all-purpose flour. You want a cup and a half. Cup and a half of flour, and then you want a teaspoon of baking powder, not soda, baking powder, and then some butter. Traditionally, you would use, say, like manteca, some sort of lard, but we're sponsored by Prairie Farms, and it tastes just as great. And then about a half a teaspoon of salt. And you're just gonna start mixing it together. So you're gonna want it to turn into a dough. So if you see you need some more butter, you can do that.
I think that's the age-old question, is there ever too much butter? I think not.
Is there?
No. Butter makes everything better. I guess we're not measuring today.
Are we any day though?
Yeah, really.
And then if it's still not thickening up just enough, just have a little bit of water on hand. Ooh.
Okay. How often do you make these, and how is the tortilla multi-purpose? What can you do with it once they're made?
You can do almost anything with a tortilla. You can snack on it. You can use them for wraps, breakfast burritos, enchiladas. If my dad, I never knew this, but I guess it's a Southern thing. You can just put butter on it with some brown sugar.
Oh,
kind of like a dessert.
Yeah.
So once it gets a little bit doughy, you can test it out with your hands. And the way to know that it's ready is that it doesn't stick to your hands. So what you're going to do is you're going to let this sit for about 15 minutes. Let it air out, let the science do its work. And then you can take it out, and we already did it here, make little balls out of these. So these are going to turn into our tortillas. Some more flour, that way it doesn't stick. And then you just want to roll this out flat. And you just want to roll it. You don't really have to worry about the looks of it because it tastes just as good when it goes down. Pop it in a hot pan.
Okay. And you you want to let it rest how long? About
15 minutes.
About 15 minutes, okay.
How's the drink coming?
I don't know yet. That's a lot of lime. When you're just putting lime in there, it's a lot of lime. Okay. And how long do you cook those? Just depends, thickness?
It depends on how thick it is. Some like it toasted. When I was a kid, I really didn't like burnt things, so I would want it a little bit doughy.
Okay.
I know.
So it's whatever your taste.
Right.
Okay. And what are we going to do? We're going to make some quesadillas, I think. We're going to advance these tortillas today.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Wow, okay. Okay, I may have been missing, oh yes, you know what I left out? The sweet syrup, the sweet and sour, the simple syrup, or...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. But then they make these great little bottled things that you can get, and that one was on sale, so just look for those. Your guests will never know. Just tell them you made it.
As long as everyone's having fun,
yes,
right?
Yes. Okay, very good. So the art of the tortilla. And you know, I was going to share with you guys, the moment you told me you had this idea, I told you about a trip to Costa Rica where they spend much of their day doing this. They make the tortillas and the ladies have it down to a science. I'm showing you some video now. And no matter the time of day, they will offer you tortilla and cafe or coffee. And they're drinking coffee all day. It's not as strong as our coffee. It can be, but to drink it all day, it's definitely more of a watered down version, but that's their way of saying, hi, I like you, stay and visit.
Stay a while, Angie.
Yes, thank you. Okay. And so now we're going to do quesadillas and such from this?
Right, so you can add pretty much anything you want into it. You can add cheese, you can add some ground turkey, vegetables.
Guacamole, that's good.
Guacamole, salsa, or butter.
So he did this for you,
Yeah.
Wyatt.
Oh, I'm excited.
Come on up.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I gotta tell you, Ronnie, I got a lot of history being a food critic, so don't
I can
take
tell.
anything too
I
personally.
mean, you're very well traveled.
Yeah.
Okay, are you trying it or are you going to wait
Oh,
for the
wait.
whole quesadilla?
Oh, I
think you should start with the tortilla.
Okay, all right. I'll give it a rating. Man, this is soft, man. How you do it like that?
Pretty good?
Yo.
Okay,
Is this better
see?
than like, man, I gotta say,
Look what you can do
you're
there.
very talented.
I appreciate you.
Jack of all trades for sure.
Okay, well, we got to get out of here. So any unfinished business, guys?
Oh, yeah. So, I think a common theme today.
Okay, wait. He's just
I got you. Hold up.
television. You can't.
One second. I thought we were making the quesadilla first. Okay. Okay, so we had a lot of talent on today. And, what's new? I feel like every week we have great guests. But
Great guests.
I think this week was especially important because I don't know about you guys, but I left feeling inspired.
You did?
For sure, yes. I mean, everybody here had worked for their goals and they had achieved them. So ending on that note, I was going to leave you guys with a quote from one of my favorite people, Yoda.
Yoda. Oh, gosh.
Right here. Do or do not. There is no try. Thank you, guys. We'll see y'all next week.
Cheers.
Hi, we're the Randys. This song's called Mary Lou.
Mary Lou, what are you gonna do? You got a palm on the back of your hand and nobody needs you. Mary Lou, what are you gonna do? The world is calling you by name, now you've gotta go. You'll be remembered as someone who was grand, but they won't remember you when the world comes to an end. Mary Lou, what are you gonna do? You got a plan on the back of your shoulder, now you've gotta go. Mary Lou, what are you gonna do? Tied to the bottom and nobody needs you. Strung out of the boat and left for dead. You were calling out from the top of your head, but nobody heard you well. Nobody heard you, Mary Lou. The world is calling you by name, now you've gotta go. Mary Lou, what are you gonna do? Mary Lou, what are you gonna do? Woo! Yeehaw.
Rolling.
Roll sound.
Can you turn that a little bit?
Randy. No, we are.
Oh,
We said
I-
rolling, we're recording.
Band segment 2, take 1.
Hope you're doing well.
So we need a sandbag, and we only have one. So we have this empty one here that I've asked this intern to go down and get some rocks.
Rob, I have another question. What is the intern's name?
Ethan? Johnny.
Thank you so
Evan.
much.
Yeah, no problem.